Stepping to the edge now, heart beating so loud. Sky's calling my name, time to play the game. Feet leave the ground, I hope I won't fall down, no. Trust.
Welcome back to another episode of the BookPreneur. I'm Audrey Bell-Kearney, your BookPreneur. Happy to be here with you guys today. Listen, today I want to I talked about this in the beginning in another episode about me creating another product to go along with my book. So happy you guys are here with me today. This is a journey. So this is for those of you who have not heard or new to the channel, welcome to the channel. And do me a favor while you're here, just think of it stopping by while you're here. Do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. But check out the other videos too, just in case you need to know why you're subscribing. Um, Super happy about today. I am an author, been an author since 1998. Have self-published now. I think I'm on my book number 13 or something like that. But this is my first time publishing fiction. And so for me, it's kind of like coming full circle. I feel like I'm in a full circle moment. I've been a business coach probably for the last 20 something odd years, helping people. I'm the president of the Gwinnett Women's Chamber of Commerce. So I help women in business get their business off the ground, grow their business, make connections, and all that good stuff. But I feel like I'm in a full circle moment because right now I'm in the process of, I just created my first fiction book using AI, which I'm proud to say that. So this is my book. It's on Amazon called The Lyran Legacy, the Starseed Chronicles begin. And I got this idea because I was watching TV one night, watching YouTube, and something popped up in my feed about Starseeds. And I was so fascinated by what they were saying. I was like, oh, that sounds like me. Like they were talking about what the Lyran Starseed was and, what they weren't and who they were. And everything they said was sounded like me, like entrepreneurial. I'm here to empower people, which is what I do on a daily basis. So I was excited about that. I'm like, wait a minute, I like that. So what I decided to do was I got this epiphany to write a nonfiction book. Now, here's the thing: I don't know how to write nonfiction. I've never written nonfiction before. I've always um I've always written fiction, so nonfiction was new to me, and I was like, okay, I don't know how to write a nonfiction book, but hey, guess what does? AI does. So I decided to launch my fiction career by leveraging AI to help me write a fiction book. Now, the book has been a journey so far. It's only been like a month, I think, since it's been out, and I'm excited about that because it's on all of the platforms: Amazon, Barnes and Noble. It's distributed through Ingram Sparks right now. All of the places. It's everywhere. Audio books, Google Books, it's everywhere. Which I'm excited about that. For me, that's exciting. Because although I have been publishing so long, I have not done that mass distribution across all of those platforms before. This is my first time doing distribution across all of those platforms. So for me, that was new, and I'm excited about that. But also, when I'm not doing all this stuff with books and things like that, I run a marketing company, a media marketing company, well, content creation company. And I love marketing. I love coming up with great, bright ideas for things. So in my interim of like, how do I make my book stand out? One, I'm not a fiction author. I am now, I guess. Technically, I guess I am. But I was like, okay, how do I make my book stand out in a sea of books? In a space that I've never been in. I've never been a fiction writer before. And, I didn't even really write the book. I gave it like ideas for what I wanted, and I went back and I gave it more ideas and I gave it more ideas until I got something that I was happy with. So, but I wanted to know, how do I make myself stand out? And so for me, I'm a big thinker, so I'm always thinking big. I was like, okay, I need to create something to go along with the book to make the book stand out. I want people to want to read the book. I want them to want to share the book. And it's the first book in a series of 8. So I decided, and I talked about this in the previous video. So if you did not go see that video, go back and look at those videos. But in a previous video, I talked about creating an ancillary product to go along with your book. Now, I come from the world of collectibles. I invented the first plus size fashion doll back in 1999, and that was a collectible. And we had a line of dolls. They were called the Big Beautiful Dolls. It was a black doll. Her name was Deja. White doll. Her name was Dawn. And a Hispanic doll. Her name was Dina. And that was my first. I call it my first real company because that was a company where I had to learn about investing and asking for money and putting together business plans. I call it my first real business, but that's the world that I lived in for like 6 years. I was an inventor. I traveled around to doll shows when it's doll DOLL because people was like, "What are you saying, dog?" No, doll, like a fashion doll. So I traveled around to doll shows. I got to meet collectors. I got to sign the dolls, so I understood that world. I understood the world of collectibles. So I was like, okay, I need to create something to go along with my book that'll make it stand out from like a crowded space. Because if I'm using AI to write books, I'm sure there are other people doing the same thing. Now, again, even though I've used AI, the storyline is in my head. So that makes it unique by itself. The storyline is in my head, the tweaks is in my head. As a matter of fact, my book take place in in Lawrenceville, Georgia, hence which is where I live, right? And my character in this book, she goes to Georgia Tech. Well, she graduated from Georgia Tech. So I did a lot of local integration into my book of where I live and things like that. I thought that would help us stand out. But I thought for me, it also put my town on the map. Even not that my town is not on the map because Sleepy Hollow is actually filmed right downtown Lawrenceville where I live. Like they filmed downtown on the courthouse yard, the old courthouse yard, Sleepy Hollow. And Stranger Things is also filmed in Gwinnett County where I live. So at the Mall of Georgia. So we got some notoriety, but I wanted to be able to include um, Lawrenceville into the book. I wanted to be able to include Georgia Tech into my book, because I wanted it to be different. I wanted to be something that was recognizable. So you say Georgia Tech, people know Georgia Tech, right? My main character, she owns a tech company. She's a tech founder, so that made sense for me. I live in the tech space. I love all of that stuff, so I live there. So that's why I decided to do the book the way I did it. So I set the book to be set in Lawrenceville, but I wanted something else, right? So my first inclination was to create a doll to go with the book. Now, I still have doll molds sitting over in China in our manufacturer that I could say, hey, I need to make a line of dolls. The thing about that is you can't make a short run today like I did back in the day. Like if I wanted to go get $1,000 done right now, I would have to pay about $55,000 for and plus shipping and all that stuff. Um, and I don't, I could do that. I could say, hey, can you take my doll mold and turn it into my character, and then send me 1,000, right? I could do that, but it's gonna be so expensive, which means in order for me to do that, I would have to charge about $125 for the doll. Now, people probably buy the doll because she would definitely be a collectible, which I hadn't really thought about it that deep, but now that I'm thinking about it, it may be an option. Um, I could probably do that, but people would have to pay like $125 for the doll, get the book for free, and all that kind of stuff. But I was like, nah, I don't know if I'm ready to do that right now. We got a lot going on. We got people going on strike because, and let me just say this: when we did our first run of the dolls, the people at the ports, the longshoremen, they were on strike. So the dolls came into port in California on a boat because they traveled by a cargo boat, and everybody was on strike. So our dolls sit on the water for 2 months. So we missed Christmas season that year because everybody was on strike because they wanted more money. So the dolls sat on the pier in California at the docks for 2 months. So that's another thing about that. I'm like, okay, that's a lot. I don't know if I'm gonna do all that. So I decided, you know what? Maybe what I could do is to make some trivia cards to go along with the book, which is what I've done. So I want to show you my trivia cards. These are my trivia cards. So this is the first. So these are trivia cards. Let me see, can you get it? These are trivia cards based on the book. And so what I did was I took some stuff out of the book. The only way for you to get the answer to these questions, and this is for you to play at home with your friends after you guys read the book. The only way for you to get the answer to these questions is to read the book. Like you can't guess it. Like, well, some of them are kind of simple. Like you can hear some of the words and okay, I bet it's this. But for the most part, the only way for you to get the answer to the questions on the trivia cards is through the book. So I'm excited about these. So I ordered a couple of decks so I can see what they look like, and I really like them. So this is what they look like on the inside. Questions. That's the cover of the cards. I'm so excited about that. So this is one of the things I'm going to be doing. So trivia cards is going to come with the books. Now, what I got to find out now, what I need to find out now is if I can have these shipped to Amazon to be drop shipped with the book, or do I have to mail them off with the book? Because that's not something I really want to do. Like I don't really want to do that. However, I will when I'm doing book signings, and I have two signings set up already. Like I have one set up at the Gwinnett Public Library where I'm going to be talking about the book and doing a signing and all that kind of stuff. Well, I'm excited about that, but I will have the cards there, but I don't know if I want to have. I don't know if I want to be drop shipping like cards and books all the time. I will if I have to. I don't want to. So the next step now that I've seen the cards, now that I like the cards, and my card deck has 54 cards in it. So let me tell you what I did with the design because I want you guys. You probably can't see it that well, but at the bottom of the card, there's a question and an answer, but at the very bottom, the website to the website to the book is there. The starseedchronicles.com is there because that's where the book is. So I want people to be able to do the card, but I also want them to keep seeing over and over again the website, the starseedchronicle.com. I want them to see that over and over again. So this is a great way for you to make sure your brand stays out in front of people. The cards are cute. Like I can see people like just not ever opening the cards because that would be me because it's a collectible. However, now I don't know if I necessarily want to make the cards a collectible. This is 50, I think it's 54 cards in here. The back card inside of the deck, let me pull that one out for you. The back card inside of the deck has all of my social media information on it. My YouTube, my Instagram, my TikTok, my website, everything is on this card. So this is a extra card inside of the deck. So I want to make sure that people want to know how to start their own newsletter. I mean, start their own book. They can go to thebookpreneur.com. They want to know, they want to connect with me. They connect with me on thebookpreneur.com. They want to go to the website to find out more information about the book and the series. They can go to the starseedchronicles.com. That's an extra card that's in the deck. And I think I have two extra cards in the deck. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So this card right here is an extra card as well. Let me see. Yeah, so this is an extra card as well. Now, I chose to kind of tell the story about what to expect. So this talks about this being an 8 card series. This is this extra card in the deck because I think it's a total of 54 cards. I used 52 of them for trivia questions, and then I used the other two for information about the book series itself, and also about how to connect with me on social media. So this one right here says the Starseed Chronicle is an 8 book series following the journey of enlightened beings known as star seeds. Yeah, so it just tells the story about what it is and stuff like that. So I'm excited about that. So now my cards are here, and the next thing I'm gonna do, yeah, I'm so excited. The next thing I'm gonna do, I'm going to create an amulet, right, to go along with this because I got a signing in November. I'm gonna be at Macy's in October. So October the 29th, I'll be at Macy's signing books and selling books, Macy's department store. And then in November, I'll be at the library signing books and doing a book discussion. Then I got a whole bunch of other ones. I just did an interview about the book and what I'm doing in that space. So I'm going to be on a podcast tour. And so I want to make sure that I got something a little bit different. Now I'm also going to be creating a little, I don't know if I want to call it an amulet, but something, I don't know, kind of like the thing that's on her head, maybe. Or I may create something I may create something from the actual Starseed logo, the Starseed logo. I might do something like that. I'm also thinking about doing a movie. So I'm excited about that. I'll talk more about that shortly. I have to set everything up. Not thinking about it. I'm going to do a movie. And this is because for me, it's one thing to tell the story in a book, but now that I've put the story in a book, I want to put it on the big screen. So I have big ambitions. I have produced before. I produced a 6 part series called Campus Crimes for my network, and I learned a lot in that production. I was the executive producer. I sat on set for 7 days, and while they filmed everything, I had a cast of 24 people in that cast. It was a 6 part series. No, 7 part series. Anyway, we shot it in 7 days. I raised a little bit of money to get it done. And we did that back when technology was not what it is right now. Like we did that when we had to have boom mics and people still had to edit on Final Cut and Adobe Premiere and all that. We got some great tools out right now that I don't have to go through all of that. to put out a good product. So I'm excited about the movie. I'm excited about the card decks. I'm excited about the trivia cards. I'm excited about the amulet, or I don't know what I want to call. I don't know if I want to call it amulet. I'm already getting some flack about the book, right? Like, people write fiction all the time, but someone called me earlier today, like, well, that's not Christian. I'm like, yeah, I know it's fiction, But anyway, I digress. Listen, I want to thank you guys for joining me again. Go to the cards are not available for sale just yet. They will be available soon, but make sure to go to the starseedchronicle.com and subscribe to the newsletter so you will be notified when they are for sale. This is my set. I got 2 sets. I want to see what they look like before I actually put them out. But the book, however, is on sale. So go get your book now, right? Go get your book now. Read the book by the time the cards are ready. The cards will be ready in a couple of weeks for sale. But you can go get your book now so you can read the whole book. So when the cards come, and tell your friends, tell your book club to read the book. By the time the cards are available for you to purchase, you have read the book and you guys can have a nice game of trivia with the Laren Legacy. I want to thank you all for spending some time with me. I'll be back again with another great episode. Listen, if you are on your bookpreneur journey, I invite you to subscribe to my newsletter by going to thebookpreneur.com. Subscribe to the newsletter. It's free. I give out a lot of helpful information over there, and it's only going to get better as I continue on this journey of in this nonfiction world of books, because it's a new journey for me. So I'm learning as I go with this. Like with my nonfiction, how to write a book. I give a workshop on how to write a book, and then somebody write a book. How to start a business. I get a workshop on how to start a business. Somebody buy the book. That's how that's been. This is a new journey for me, and I'm excited to be on this journey. And if you guys want to come on this journey with me because you got a book idea, I can tell you right now. I was talking to my husband. It was my husband. It was either my husband or my uncle, was somebody, but we were talking about my grandmother. And as I sat there and had that conversation, I think it was my uncle. It was my uncle. As I sat there and had that conversation with him, I realized my grandmother was an entrepreneur. I didn't think about it like that because, for me, entrepreneurship was like you had a business and everybody knew about it. Well, she did have a business, and I'm going to put that business in a book. I'm so excited about that. I was like, wait a minute. So that's a story. Even though I'm going to still leverage AI to tell the story, it's the story as my uncle and I remember it, but enhanced with AI to make it more fictional. It's a great story. I can't wait for you guys to read that story. It's not a part of my 8-part series, but it is a book coming soon. And a lot of it will be true, but then some of it is going to be fiction. So it's going to be a fictional character based on my grandmother. And it was a story that he and I told. I knew the story, but in talking to him about the story, it hit me. Hey, she was an entrepreneur. And she was a little short lady, shorter than me. I'm 5'3". She was like 4'11". And my mom was short like that too. And I'm like, wait a minute, that will be a great story. I'm trying, and the things that I try to create is stuff that anybody can read. So that's not a part of the 8-book series. The 8-book series are all about the Starseed Chronicles, but that will be I got 2 or 3 other books outside of the Chronicles that I'm going to be doing. But I want you guys to know that follow me, connect with me. I'm on a journey, and if you want to bring your story to life, even if you don't think you have a story like that story about my grandmother, that wasn't a story that I planned on having. It was a conversation that my uncle and I were having in the kitchen, and he started to make me remember some things that was happening around me when I was a little girl. I'm like, oh yeah, ooh, that'd be a great story. That'd be a great story of a little lady who was an entrepreneur, and I didn't even know it. She probably didn't even know it either. She probably didn't know what entrepreneur meant, but I'm gonna tell it in a fun way that's gonna be entertaining and probably funny because she was a feisty little thing, right, with long hair like my mom. She and my mom look just alike. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for listening. Be sure to go to thebookpreneur.com and connect with me there. There are some links on this channel, on the YouTube channel, that's connected to our Facebook group, and also on my TikTok. Please connect with me there at TikTok at the official bookpreneur on TikTok, and bookpreneur coach on Instagram. So I would look forward to talking with you and learning more about your projects and what you're doing. I'll be back again for another episode. Until next time, my friends. Until next time, make it a great day. Bye, everybody.
Want to unlock the secrets to book publishing success? Tune in to The Bookpreneur with Audrey Bell-Kearney. Welcome to The Bookpreneur. Hosted by Audrey Bell-Kearney, an accomplished author of 7 books and a seasoned entrepreneur with 27 years of experience. This weekly show is your ticket to the innovative world of book publishing. From traditional publishing to ebooks, low-content gems, and even coloring books, Audrey covers it all. Each week, she chats with a diverse range of authors and creators, revealing the secrets to their success and how they turned pages into profits. Whether you're an aspiring author, a seasoned writer, or a book enthusiast, the BookPreneur offers insights and inspiration to help you monetize your literary passion. Audrey is also the CEO of Noise Media Network, known for the Good Morning Georgia and Good Morning Gwinnett podcasts. Join us on the BookPreneur and discover how you can thrive in the ever-evolving literary economy. Subscribe now, and let's turn your love for books into a profitable adventure.